Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Hold on, my dog.
What? What is it, handsome? What is it?
So basically, today's video is actually going to just be kind of a response to a comment that I got. And she requested that I talk a little bit more about, I guess, what I meant when I said like wanting your locks to look a certain way. And I think this was back in my maintenance video that I did in our whole natural hair basics series. And she was just wanting to know, I guess, maybe what kind of choices you can make that will affect your locks, or how will they affect your locks and that kind of thing. So I figured that I would kind of just talk sort of in general and then talk about how like my regimen and things like that I believe have affected the way that my locks look and all that jazz. So in general, there's lots of things that you can do that will affect the way your locks look. There's things that you can do that will affect, of course, the way they look as far as coloring your hair. There's things that you can do as far as like, do you freeform or not, right? That will make a huge difference in the size of your locks and everything else. Now, when you start your locks, that can have a lot to do with long-term how they look, as far as if you start with 2-strand twists versus starting with comb coils, the size of your parting, the type of parting you do, whether you do like a bricklayer or diamond parting or just kind of haphazardly doing things, that can make a difference in how full your locks are. And I mean, if you don't palm run down the length of your hair, maybe your locks will be more frizzy. I mean, there's so many different things that can influence the outcome for your hair and what's going on with it. Now, with my locks in particular, I'm going to walk you back from the beginning and then all the way to now, okay? So I am a DIY locker, which basically, like it says, do it yourself. I have managed, well, I can't talk today. I have started, managed, and maintained my own locks since the very beginning. And that's been almost 4 years ago. It won't be 4 years till like the fall, but 3.5, 4 years. And so basically with my locks, you know, they're not going to necessarily look maybe quite as neat and uniform as you would get starting your locks in a salon, because they would have been maintained, they would have been started in such a way where they were really even. Don't get me wrong, I used a mirror and I did my best, but I do get that overall a lot of my locks are different sizes. Not super noticeably, but enough to where, you know, if you're close up or you're fooling with them, you can definitely tell. Another thing being that I started my locks with 2-strand twist. Now, most people, well, I'd say most, but I guess most, I don't know, start theirs with comb coils. And the reason I said most is because when I started my journey, there weren't really a whole lot of people that I saw who had started with 2-strand twists who were still in the journey or still had locks. But I'm sure they're out there. So, hey guys, if you're out there. And so that can affect it, because I feel like that they end up being, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I do think they end up being a bit maybe more bulky. I don't know, I go back and forth between them being more bulky and being smaller, because I feel like with the comb coils, they would be able to kind of be more compact, and that would make them slimmer or thinner. But at the same time, I'm like, but then wouldn't that give them more room to expand? So you can let me know what you think with that. But with the 2-strand twist, in a way, I think they still maintain their 2-strand twist form. So part of me is like, okay, well, maybe they end up being a little bit bulkier because of that. I do know that it does affect how smooth and how uniform down the length of the lock they are, and mine definitely are not all the way. It's been better as they get longer, but you know, that's one of those things, right? So that's something to think about. Your parting, I did my parts with like a bricklayer method, but they weren't all the same. Like, it wasn't all diamonds or all oval shaped parts. I just kind of made sure they were neat and that each lock laid over the other. Some I made as much of a box as possible, but others I didn't, you know. I tried to be more concrete about it in the front of my head and the back. Especially in the middle, I did my best, but it really isn't anything like exceptional. So choosing to whether or not you actually maintain, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, choosing or not whether or not you actually maintain your parts throughout your journey is something that can have an influence on that. Whether or not you color your hair will have a major influence on that. I feel like once you color your locks, they tend to look a little bit drier, because they are. Not terribly so, but you know, you can tell on some of mine towards the ends, especially where the color is, that it does look a little bit drier than if you have like the natural black or dark brown hair, whatever your locks look like. That can affect that. And then of course the big thing being the way you retwist, how often, whether you interlock or whatever, that will shape, you know, kind of what happens. I feel like people who interlock their hair, it does tend to be a little bit more compact, ever so slightly, not too much, but just, they're not thin. I don't want to say that. They're not thin. They just are more compact, if that makes sense. People with palm roll, theirs may be a little bit more plump, but if they're over twisting, probably not. That can thin your locks out too. I'll try to include her video, but I think it's DXLYN or something like that. I always jack it up. She recently started a whole journey where she's gone a whole year without retwisting, and I believe it was in her 4th month she showed a picture that was comparing the top half of her hair to the bottom half, you know, the part that had been not having any retwist and the part that had been retwisted pretty much every 4 to 6 weeks, and there was a significant increase in the volume of her hair. So I mean, that in itself is a small experiment showing that, hey, the longer you go without retwisting, the thicker your locks can be. And some people choose not to do it at all, you know, and that can shape the way your locks look. With freeform locks, nothing wrong with them. They just look a lot different, right? And I guess the last thing I can think of is if you are palm rolling, whether or not you choose to comb your new growth, that can make a difference because, and I'm not saying you have to stop doing that or it's your choice, but personally, I don't comb my new growth. I just, you know, pretty much wrap all the loose hair and spin it around my finger and then palm roll, and that's it. I don't actually go through and comb it and then do it. I think it can make it look really like neat and like, what's the word? When they look like snatched, you know, I guess that's the right word. It looks really nice, but that's just not right for me and my locks. And I'm not even saying that it leads to them being thinner or not. I don't know for sure, but I think that for my locks, it's been helpful not to do that. And so that's really all the stuff that I can think of when it comes to maintenance and how that can affect the long-term look of your locks. But if you guys have any feedback or anything you want to add, please let me know. Also, can we talk about how I was actually able to get my locks under this hat today? I am like literally flabbergasted. During my whole lock journey, I have not actually been able to wear hats. And I don't know if it's because today, like, my hair is not, what's the word? It's not like freshly retwisted, but it's not super poofy either. Not to mention I'm getting some hang time, so now my locks just go straight down. They're not sticking out and keeping the hat from sitting on there. So I'm pretty stoked about that, guys. If you see me feeling myself in the little camera thing. But anyway, so, but hopefully that answered you guys' questions or her question. And if you guys have any feedback, please put that down on how what you do to your locks can affect how they look long term. If you guys feel like it, please like, comment, share this video, give me some feedback. And also, if you want to stick around, you got a couple options. If you just want to stick around with no commitment, I do post videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sundays and Wednesdays are hair videos. Fridays are like topic videos, kind of like your version of online therapy, okay? And so if you want to actually though have the commitment, you can subscribe to my channel. I have like some kind of bubble with my face on it, and there's actually a little alarm bell after you do that that allows you to be notified by an email or whatever every time that I actually upload a video. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I hope that you come back. Talk to you soon. Bye.